Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast, episode 44, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited, and unfiltered. We're back, still on the quest of trying to find a consistent upload schedule. I've been able to work out the kinks of this computer, and I've set everything up, so now we're officially back. Hopefully this thing doesn't shut down on me again. Today, I just want to talk about something I've realized I've always been experiencing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have experienced it. Hopefully someone can explain this to me. A lot of people I know don't either. It's always very interesting because when I talk about it, the people I address it to, they don't think I'm being serious, or they don't believe it. I find that a lot of my friends and people I care about don't respect me, in the sense of, and it's opposite spectrums. You're either gonna and people have a sense of admiration for me, which sounds egotistical, but this is what I've been told by certain people, or you have people who disregard everything I say. And I've talked about it with some of them. Some of them I don't understand why. Like the girl I'm talking to now, Felicia, yeah, she doesn't respect me, and we talked about it. I didn't plan on talking to her about it because I was like, it isn't going to change anything. So basically how it went was, we were talking about something, and I think it was and I said something about the term toxic masculinity, and how I believe that term is toxic, and it's not real. It doesn't exist. Meaning that and I do believe that. I believe that there's toxic traits within males and females. And to use that term toxic masculinity or toxic femininity is to say inherently something about who you are is toxic. Basically saying to a bunch of men, because of who you are broken. Because of who you are, the world is better off without you. Because of who you are a detriment to society. And I laid this point out. And her response was, I'm still going to use it because, no, quote, end quote, no, what you said was cringe. And it made me feel insignificant for about 2 minutes before I realized that at the end of the day, I don't care. It's just stuff that I can't talk about with her. And we move forward. I said I was going to talk about stuff on the podcast, and I said that I hinted at this, and I was like, I'm just going to say on the podcast, and when you see it, we'll talk about it. Because I didn't feel like a conversation about this stuff was going to lead to anything. So finally, I just talked about it with her, and I was just like, yeah, at the end of the day, because she said, she asked the question, it was like, have I done anything that was toxic? And I'm like, well, yes. Sorry, if you hear ripping, it's my cats. If you have I done anything to make you feel that I was toxic, or that made you feel insignificant? I was like, oh yeah, you've done it a couple of times, but I let it slide because at the end of the day, I know you're not toxic, and the conversation wouldn't change anything because nothing's gonna get changed. And she was like, what do you mean? And then we went back and forth for about 10 minutes. I was just like, it's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change anything, which is sad because you'd think that having conversations about this stuff, but me having conversations with a plethora of my friends, colleagues, and all that, and just people I know, to and just be like, oh yeah, no, it won't solve anything. It's kind of, it sucks because you want to have that faith in change. And I was just like, it's not worth it. When you see it, we'll talk about it, but right now I don't think bringing it up is the best, because this isn't the first time she's done it. The other time she did it was we were talking about something really serious, like something super serious that was personal about her, and I was just like, yo, you can't go around doing all this, da 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 da. And I went this whole spiel, and I was just like, here's my opinion, and I get all that. And sometimes, the shit. We were playing COD Mobile. Sometimes the mic breaks up and it starts cutting out because it's either my headphones or I have to mute myself and unmute myself to reset the connection. Sometimes it just glitches. Sometimes it happens. Usually she lets me know. She then, after me saying this whole thing, and me speaking from the heart, and me having, I guess, if you could call it a vulnerable moment, I guess, She went ahead and said, and I quote, "I didn't hear anything you said. I just sounded really passionate, and I wanted to have you done so I could burst your bubble. Haha." End quote. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was genuinely starting to get angry for about 2 minutes, and I was like, end of the day, it's whatever. That's not going to change anything. And I moved on and didn't say nothing about it. And I don't do this to like hold receipts or any of that bullshit. I was just like, all right, no, there's just certain shit I cannot talk to you about because there's certain shit that I guess conversations that you're mental, where you are at emotionally, mentally, wherever you are, cannot handle. You cannot handle that opinion because you just disregard it and disrespect me. That's cool. Do I think you're an evil person? Do I want to get rid of you in my life? No, I love you and I care about you. But I'm just not going to waste my time with that. Because I have better stuff to do than to get angry at you and then hold that against you. It's no longer, people like to think because I remember things, there's a grudge. There's a difference between holding a grudge and remembering stuff. There's a lot of stuff a lot of people did to me. I hold no grudges against anyone. It just becomes facts. No, the fact was you did this. The fact was she disrespected me twice. And she, on many records, said, I have no respect for you because of the fact she says she has no respect for everyone because how she used to give it out to people who didn't deserve it. That's all cool. I'm okay with earning respect. I believe respect should be earned. I believe that there should be a level of respect given to everyone as a human, and you earn the rest. I am completely fine with that, and I made that very clear. And I said I am very willing to earn your respect. I believe that's how it should be. But because she's ran into so many disrespectful people, she now is like, okay, I don't respect anyone. And so that leads to the complications of conflict of ego. And I look at it as confidently insecure. And we were talking about it. And then because of her ADHD and our conversations going all over the fucking place, we never got back to it. But when I say confidently insecure, it's the things that I see in a lot of females who breathe this false confidence, this false security, when in reality they are probably the fragilest out of them. And when they're alone, they are the ones that are as fragile. And am I calling my friends soft, or am I calling anyone like this? Because my mother's that way. She's not soft by any means. But what I'm saying is there is a false bravado that they give off that any person who's encountered it enough, you can see it from a mile away. There was a situation with my mom where she even admitted to that, and I was just like, I know, because I see it. I see it in a lot of females when I go to school. They're like, oh, I'm big and bad, I'm this, I'm that, and the ones that talk the most be the most insecure. The most they have to feel like they have to prove themselves, but are really talking more for themselves, not for other people. And if other people accept them, they'll be okay with that. Not saying that's every case, but that's a lot of cases for people at my school. With her, because she used to give out a lot of respect to lots of toxic trash motherfuckers. And when I say trash, I mean trash. She went from what she did was try to overcorrect, which is possibly the worst thing you could do. And that's coming from experience as someone who has overcorrected and has left damage along the way. Now I found the balance much better, and I'm happy, and I can understand that, but overcorrection is never the way to go. Because you see it in a lot of people. You see it all the time. That's what Felicia's done. She's overcorrecting. And we talked about all this. All this we've talked about is that you've overcorrected. You've gone so south that now you have to work your way to find the middle yet. And granted, we're still all kids, so you have plenty of time to find that middle ground. But don't stay too stubborn to be in the South after being born in the North and then not be able to find the middle. Otherwise, there'll be damage left. And I just think that that's one of them. One of the things that was left was because of her stubbornness. She was like, okay, so I gave people a lot of respect, and it got thrown back in my face. How do I solve that? Let me go, not disrespect, because she's not a piece of shit, which I can thank her, because my God, if she was a piece of shit, she wouldn't be in my life. That she's now been like, I will give you the baseline, if that, and I'm going to always think you're going to disrespect me. And it's a kind of a pessimistic view. Again, completely understandable. Completely understandable, and and for where she is in her life, it makes sense why she would do that. And who she's encountered and the experiences she's had makes sense why she would do that. The only problem is that's a fall. A lot of people, including her sometimes, use that as the fallback excuse and think because of that, it's okay. It's not. Because when you talk to someone like me, who's also had experiences like that, not that specific, but in the same general circumference, and still knows, hey, I have a modicum of, I'm willing to treat everyone on an individual basis, not give everyone like that baseline of, you're all pieces of shit. Not saying it's what she's saying, but like that. It's kind of a spit in the face to a lot of new people, and it kind of doesn't new people don't want to enter your life because you're like, okay, well, what's the point if you're going to treat me how other people would treat, or if you're going to treat me poorly because of your past, and you let your past dictate your future is just going to be your past, and you're just going to be stuck in this back and forth with yourself and in life, and there's nothing new can be entered in your life. It's just going to be a waste, and that's just what it is. I just run into a lot of people who show me that disrespect. But we talked about it, and she was like, we talked about it, and she was like, call me out on it next time and all that. And she was like, I didn't mean to do it that way. I'm just like, all right, but it is what it is. And I'll say, it is what it is, because you can't, again, what you did is what you did. You can't move forward. You can't do anything about it. And she explained her side, and all that. And I was just like, yeah, no, I get it. I get that the no in between, because there wasn't really an in between for her. It was either you're this or you're that. I don't give a damn about you, or I love you, and that's how I am. I'm better to find the balance. Like, I'm just indifferent about people. I'm either there's three sections. I'm either I love you, I don't really care for you, or I have no issue with you, but you're like, I might as well not even met you. And that's just what it is. She obviously is on the side where I really like her, I love her, and I like to have her in my life, excuse me. That's funny, when I told her that, she got panicked because she thought I was going to be like, oh yeah, you're part of the ones I'm like, I don't want to associate myself with. I don't want to be near. And she got scared, and I was just like, no, no, it's not. That's not you. All right, understand? I'm separating you from this conversation. But I'm just saying that's how my brain operates. And next time, like, should she ever meet my friends, I would want her to give them that benefit of the doubt and not let her past relationships with people in general, like romantically, friendship wise, parent to kid wise. I would like her to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them a clean slate mentally as well as physically. That was all I was saying to her. Her is case by case. Other people, I believe a lot of people, a lot of people in general just underestimate me as a whole, because it depends on how you meet me, because I'm not someone you can fit in a box. I'm not someone like, oh, he's this type of person, he's that type of person. I'm a combustion of a lot of things. I'm still always changing as a person and doing things completely different. Hence, people knew me for basketball. I barely play anymore because the courts are closed, but I'd still be playing it. But I also do band. A lot of people know me for just band. A lot of people know me for my podcast. A lot of people know me for my intelligence. A lot of people know me because I'm funny. A lot of people know me for my education. A lot of different things. And because all these people will talk and they know I do a bunch of things, you can't fit me in a box where it's like, oh, he's a jock. Oh, he's a nerd. Oh, he's a band kid. Oh, he's this. He's that. And in reality, I try to be as diverse and just be me. And whatever that entails is whatever that entails. And people either really respect that or they don't respect that. And a lot of people, even people who I like, I'm cool with. It's not necessarily disrespect. It's not, there's just a lack of respect for there. Alex is another one. I don't think he respects me at all. I think there are moments where I know for a fact he disrespected me. Well, I don't take it as serious because I'm not an emotional jackass. But I don't know if I said it in the last episode, but I decided recently I will never hang out with him alone again, at all in general, unless it's at my house. And even then, it's still iffy because we went to a public place in Avalon, which is the Avalon, which is just a marketplace where it's like, oh, you have a food places, you know, and stuff. It's like a mall if it was outside. And there's this place, it's packed, and it's got people, kids, all that, all around the place. He lacks self-control. So he went ahead and he screamed, bitch, in my face, bitch. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Because he was already acting fucking wild the whole entire time. So I was walking away from him, and he pulled my hair. He went, boom! He pulled my hair to get my attention. And everybody watched this, or in front of everybody, because he yelled it in front of kids, the B word in front of kids. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to be associated with you. If you get in trouble, that's your ass. It's not mine. I'm going to walk this way. And how he got my attention was he pulled my hair. I made it crystal clear to every person I know. I don't care how close we are. Do not pull or touch my hair. Preferably not at all, but if you are, you would have to ask me, because I'm not going to let you just pull my hair at all. In general, I don't give a damn what I locks or not. When I have the afro, it's the same rule. You know, don't pull my hair, or unless you want to get your ass whooped, and that's what it was. He didn't respect that, so what did he do? Pulled my hair in front of all these people, and I smacked him. I smacked him in the back of the head. I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Boom. Smacked him in the back of his head in front of all these people. I was like, don't let me, I'm your friend. Don't let me whoop your ass in front of all these people. What is wrong with you? And he still thought it was a joke. And he still thinks it's a joke to this day. Like, it's funny. I'm like, no, it's not. The next time you do that, I'm going to lay your ass out. And that's saying that publicly here. And that's saying it to him if he ever wore to watches. He does some shit like that again, I'm going to lay his ass out. And all his friends, if you ever see that, just let him know. I'll let him know too. It's just that lack of respect and just that certain disrespect. And I brought it to him as a person. This isn't just me just ranting. I brought it to him as a person, and they still don't respect that. They don't respect personally my wishes. And because of who I am and because how I handle things, because I'm very mature and not emotionally irrational, not emotionally impulsive, not an outbursted person, not someone who's going to be like, because of something. And it takes very, very hard to get me angry, or to draw my emotion out of me, and no one's been able to do it. Even when he pulled my hair, it wasn't out of anger. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What did I tell you? Boom. To check him. And at the end of the day, that's just something that he just doesn't respect. A lot of things people don't respect is my opinion, because of the fact that, like, again, I'm going to go back to Alex here. Alex, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's about summer or whatever. Him and a couple of my other friends, whenever it gets to warmer weather, they start getting depressed as shit. I talked about this back in the summer when I started this podcast. I was the only person holding this friend group together in terms of being happy. Everybody else was being depressed and bitching about their problems 24/7. I was the only there that was like, oh, let's not grovel in sadness and go swim. All right, let's go do something instead of sitting here all depressed and ho-hum like this so shit, because we're all too damn young to be this pessimistic about bullshit. So, with him, because the biggest thing is I don't bitch about my problems. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing that I always did was I never bitched about my problems. If I had a problem with something, internally, externally, I would go deal with it. I would go solve it. I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure it was done. I understand people are different. That's just how I do it. Some people like to push it off. Some people, they think venting is good. I'm all for that. How you need to process it is how you need to process it. Where I draw the line is where it's no longer processing. It's just you bitching. It's just you saying life is shit and you're doing it for attention. You're just doing it just to do it, and it's nothing productive. You're not having a productive conversation with anything. You're just sitting there going, life is so shit because life is so shit. I wish things were different. Woe is me. Fuck the world. Fuck God. That's essentially what you're doing, and it's wasting everybody's time. It's not fun for anybody. A lot of my friends did this. Alex is starting to do this again. The issue is, I don't think personally any of my other friends who he actually respects, the two girls that he's actually friends with, like for real, Sunny and Reagan, I don't think they call him out on it enough. They don't. They kind of put up with it. And all of us can put up with it. I just don't want to waste my time. Because he was over at my house the other day, and he was coming off that way. He was coming off all he just, I wish things were different. And when I try to have a conversation, well, things make things different. You don't like where you are right now? Do something with it. And he dismissed it, and he was just like, ugh, here we go again. Because I've had this conversation with him before, in a way, because I'm not one with the bullshit. At the end of the day, I am not one for the bullshit. I'm not going to waste my time with you doing all this shit, being like, oh, you know, ho, 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 hum, I hate life, life is awful, because it's not. You're 15. What are you being pessimistic for? What are you being sad for? It's you're like again, emotions. I'm not invalidating anyone's emotions here. Don't think it's not what I'm doing. I'm saying every emotion is valid. I'm saying that if you are not processing them in a healthy way, and you're not continuing to grow, and you're kind of just stuck here at the baseline, you're just not growing anymore because of the simple fact of because how he is what he's done, which I do commend him for. He was much worse when I first met him. And before I even met him, he was much worse. He made a conscious choice. Said, I don't want to be like this anymore. This does not make me happy. I want to get better. And he's gotten tremendously better. Even from when I met him to where he is now on this date of March 31st, 2021. Tremendously better day and fucking night. I commend him. The issue is that he's not going ahead and he's not continuing the growth. He's kind of stuck in the baseline because he's found us. And he was like, and it's again, if he wants to say shit like, oh, I wish I met y'all earlier in life. Yeah, cool. I wish I met him earlier in life. We would have been a lot closer, and we probably would have been a lot more open with each other, a lot more comfortable with each other. Cool with that. But when he goes ahead and be like, and even when he were to bitch about his problems every once in a while, no issue with that. It's just that he and a lot of other people I know, because it's not just him, I'm not targeting him. This is just, he's my reference because this is the one that's the most prominent right now. It's every time. It's every time. And it has ruined hangouts. It has ruined fun moments. It has brought the energy down when it had no need being down. And I think it's a big spit in the face when I try to, actually help you instead of like kissing your ass and being like, well, it's okay. It's not me. It's okay. It's okay. And be like, no, do something about it. And you kind of dismiss it. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is the shit that makes people not want to be around you because you're just sitting here groveling in your own sadness and want us to have a pity party with you and want us to be sad with you. That's not what we're here to do. And it's gotten to the and it's also a bigger spin in the face because personally, the one time I talked about it, I made a joke about my emotions about whatever, was him and another friend of his, Megan, ripped me a new one about how I did it all the time, about all this. Well, I never even talked about it. I only did it once. Right hand of God, I only did it once. And I explained to him in a calm, collected conversation why I never talked to him about my emotions. And he said, like, either don't talk about it at all or take our help. And they were not in a good space to help me. So I'm going to say the same thing to everyone. Either shut your ass up or talk about it in a constructive way. If you're not coming here to talk about it, even if it's ranting, I'll listen. And then we can go ahead. If you want to just rant and want someone to listen, cool. Make that clear. If you want to have like a brainstorm session with your friends, and that's for anyone, go ahead. Make that clear. However, if you're coming every hangout to bitch, to moan, to complain about how awful life is, no one wants to be around that. No one wants to be around that. You're going to lose all your friends if you haven't lost them already. And no one's going to fucking care. And it comes to that point where anyone like that, I'll be like, cool. All right, you can get the hell on, or we can sit here and have a real discussion about this. You got about 5 minutes to decide. You can get the hell out the way. If you're at my house, you can get the hell out my house, or we can sit here and talk about it. If we are somewhere ever, I can leave, or because I'm not going to be around negative energy for the sake of negative energy. I believe it should be productive. I don't believe it should be a waste of time. I don't believe it should be just being sad for the fuck of it. Not saying that what he's doing, but a lot of people are. I know a lot of people who are sad for attention, sad for the fuck of it, sad for a fad, and then it turns into something real and no one can take them serious. I've met those people, so I'm speaking from experience and not from ignorance. And a lot of people, when you'll see, If we talk about this in public, talk about this from person to person, or if they were to watch this and then come to me with a conversation, it will be disregarded, because at the end of the day, on the outside looking in, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because I'm not as I don't have their experience. And because I don't have their experience, their individualized experience, it doesn't exist. The logic within that is you are not going with exactly what I'm going through, or it does not look similar. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Therefore, you don't know what you're talking about. Therefore, you can't have an opinion. I think that is disrespectful in itself, even if you don't come in it in a disrespectful way, and it comes off condescending, and it comes off as, yeah, you know, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And and while not everybody's me, and not everybody thinks how I think, and not everybody handles problems like head on, like I do, all that shit, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you is that be within reason to where people can actually be around you. People don't want to be around someone who's just going to grovel. People are not going to be around people who are just going to sit there and waste their time with a bunch of nonsense about how awful life is. I wish a lot of things were different. Okay, well, you can't change the past. Work on your future. You don't like where you are now? Work on the future. It's that. And the biggest excuse is it's not that simple. And at the end of the day, that is the biggest lie ever told, because it is that simple. How is it not that simple? Do it. Remove emotion from it. You remove emotion for anything is that simple. Murder is, you remove emotion, murder is the easiest thing in the world. It is that simple. Am I telling you go murder people? Absolutely not. But you take any, you fill in the blank with any task. Remove any emotion or that may seem as, oh, it's bad. Da, da, da. Remove all that. It is as effortlessly as breathing. It is effortlessly as walking. You don't even have to think about it. You can just do it. And that's it. You don't like where you're at? Do something about it. It's not that hard. I have a medical condition. Okay. Do something about the medical condition. It's genetic. I actually have bipolar. I have clinical depression. Cool. Are you doing something about it? Or are you going to sit here and bitch? Are you going to sit here and complain? Are you going to sit here and make up all these excuses about why you can't? And if you either want to just not do it or just want to purposely be sad so niggas can give you attention and basically waste all our time. Because I, for one, I'm not one for the bullshit. I will never be one for the bullshit. And I'm not going to waste my time with the bullshit. And that's for all my friends. That's for damn sure anyone I randomly meet on the street. They come in with a bunch of bullshit. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to waste my time. I have better shit to do. We all got better shit to do. You and yourself bitching about problems have better shit to do. You want to be sad and bitch about how awful life is? You can go take that shit somewhere else. You know, I want to have a good time with people. And I don't want to just waste. And I don't want to. Plus, understand that we're all like, all my friends are in the range of, we're all young. What the fuck are we being pessimistic for? Obviously, we're maturing. Each generation is maturing faster, and with that comes a lot of problems, of course. And a lot of people are dealing with real issues that even adults haven't dealt with, or adults have dealt with later years, not now when they're still growing. They still can't fucking drive legally, technically, or some are just beginning to drive legally. But us here sitting, especially with like Alex and other people who are so pessimistic about life and have this thing where it's like, life is shit because my life is shit. I said, no, you think your life is shit. And if you don't like where you're at, change it. It's as simple as this. If you're sitting in a chair that's uncomfortable, are you going to strap yourself in that chair just because that's the first chair you sat in, and you're just going to be stuck there for the rest of the time you're in that room? You're just going to sit there and just come bitch about the chair, or are you just going to get up, go to a different seat, go sit somewhere else that's more comfortable? You would do the one where you go and be more comfortable, unless you're looking for a reason to bitch about something. You'd sit your ass in that chair and you'd stay in that chair and you wouldn't move until someone's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you. Then you're going to have someone like me who's going to be the bad guy in the situation, which is not the bad guy. It's just the person who is willing to have the balls to tell you, move. I'm telling that the same thing. It's the same thing. Move. You don't like where you're at? Move. You don't like where you are mentally? Do something about it. Is it going to be, am I expecting it to be a quick process or easy, a quick fix? No. How long it takes is individual to each person. Mental health isn't linear. I understand that. Mental health is a case by case. That's why there will never be a universal solution for mental health. There will never be a universal solution for mental illness, for depression, for bipolar, for any of that. Because medication works for some people. Some people have addictive personalities. It doesn't work. Can't use medication. Some people use therapy. Sometimes therapy doesn't work. They have to go on medication. Medication and therapy don't work. They have to choose something else. Some of it's because where they're at in their life physically. Some of it's where they're at mentally. Some of it's part of growing. Some of it's just who they are. Some of it's genetic. It's case by case. If you know that person by case, it's you can sit there and be like, okay, I know how to attack it because I know me. I know where I need to go. It's just really about making that choice. It's not as hard as people want to make it. People want to make all these excuses, and excuses are actually harder to come up with than actually fixing it. It's the easiest thing in the world to be like, okay, I don't like where I'm at. It's easier to identify the negative. Do something about it. Do something about it. Do something about it. It's that simple. Do something about it. Something. Even if it's a minute progress, it's still progress in the right direction. But groveling, but being pissed and being pissed that you're pissed and being pissed about life letting you be as pissed that you're pissed isn't going to do anything. It's not. I'm here to tell you, if no one else has told you, none of your friends have the balls to say it, I will tell it to you. To anyone watching, it does not solve anything. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting their time. And it comes off as harsh, and it comes off as bitter, and it comes off as angry. It's not. It's just being real. When I have these conversations, it comes off as angry. It comes off as bitter. It comes off as ignorant. It's just being real. It's just telling it how it is. End of the day, we're not here to be your pity party. You want to go find that? Go pay for a therapist. But even they are not going to sit there and be your pity party. They're going to put up with it. They're going to be like, suggest all this shit, and you're going to put up all these excuses and be like, at the end of the day, they're going to tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you. I'm not here to be your pillow to cry on, your shoulder to cry on. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Because especially if you're a kid, because especially you want to get a handle on this shit now, because we're going to go into the real world. The real world don't give a fuck about anything going on with your mental health, especially to all my dudes. As dudes, you will not be given a fuck about even less than the grown females. It's that simple. Don't you want to, if you're younger, you want to get a grasp on this shit now, or find a way, or start the pathway to getting it fixed, or getting it handled, or getting under control, and be able to separate the sadness from fun times, and have to mix them and all that shit. If you need to take a break from people or whatever, do whatever you got to do. Felicia, I commend her. She'll be like, oh, when she has mental breakdowns, she doesn't talk to people. Anyone at all. It will just be by herself until she's ready to come back out. I completely respect and understand that. I would wish you'd give us a heads up sometimes, but shit happens. I get that. That is more healthy, because instead of just being her being like, we're having a good time laughing about college, and out of nowhere she's just like, I hate my life. Why don't you do this? No, you don't get it. It's not the same. And just doing all that huffing and puffing bullshit, and it's not going to do anything. It's not going to fix the problem. It's not going to make you feel any better. And if you're ranting about it healthily, it will. And you just need to get off your chest, it will. If you're just saying it to say it, and it's the same story over and 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 over, no one cares. People are going to stop caring. People, as patient as I am willing, and me saying all this, Alex could call me right now and be like, hey, man, shit sucks right now, and he's talking about it. Cool, all for it. If he's calling me just a bitch, and it's not ranting, it's not to get a solution, it's nothing, I will hang up on him. I'll be like, look, dude, I'm here to help you. If you're coming here just to expect me to get some pity, I'm not. I'm sorry that you're going through it. It sucks. But at the end of the day, you got to handle it because only you know what to do. You got to make a choice. I can't make shit for you. No one can take the wheel for you in front of your life. You can't take you can't take the front, like that whole Jesus take the wheel shit for your life doesn't exist. It doesn't. That whole, oh, Michael take the wheel, or my mom take the wheel, oh, my friend take the wheel. That shit isn't real. That's not real. You, at the end of the day, this is who you are. This is what you're stuck with. You got to figure this shit out. And we're all figuring this shit out. That's the whole point of life. No one knows what the fuck we're doing. A lot of people are afraid to admit it. Adults and kids alike. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're all trying to figure this shit out. You are just in line with a lot of people who don't have any clue what the fuck they're doing. And that's okay. It's okay to not know what you're doing. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not know where to go or all that shit. But bitching about your situation when other people have got shit to do, and it's not productive, it's not going to help anyone. It's not going to help anyone, and it's not going to have us go forward. And especially have to think outside of yourself. The biggest thing too is that it's also a lot of selfishness. A lot of people don't think outside of themselves. They like to think, oh, because of me, knowing me, the world revolves around me, and not necessarily that. They're like, oh, the world should cater to me instead of me contributing to the world. When the world will keep pushing. You kill yourself, the world's going to keep pushing. Society's going to keep pushing. Shit, even people who are most famous, they'll take a pause, but even that, they got to keep shit going. Kobe, the world took a pause. Shit's still going now. Society keeps going. The world keeps rotating. People keep moving. The world, the moon and the sun still circling through the sky. This shit keeps going. The world isn't going to halt for your issues. People are not. You can't expect everyone to halt for your issues. You can't expect people to halt and be like, "Well, it's okay, it's okay." None of that, dude. That's only good for a little bit. Then it's like, okay, man, let's get working. To all people out there who are still stuck in that place, I'm telling you now. Gotta get shit working at some point. You can't sit there and just sit there. It's not a waste of our time. And it's selfish because you gotta think about everybody else. There's a lot of shit that my friends consciously and subconsciously do that are very selfish. I have no problem with selfishness for people who don't know how to be selfish. And I'd be like, you gotta learn to be selfish. And she's like, and it's like, and just the choices they want to make with their futures and how that would affect everything on a grand scale. All that. It's very spit in the face to a lot of people, or when you like ruin hangouts because of your situation. I'm not talking about in a specific year, I'm just saying in general. When you ruin hangouts because of your attitude, because of that, just energy. It's very selfish, and it puts people in a spot to where they have to cater to you. They're like you're hostage, and they have to cater to you. They have to be with you. They have to make sure you're okay with it. Because if you're not okay with it, then no one's okay with it. And if no one's okay with it, no one can do anything. And if you're not happy, no one's happy. If no one's happy, it's a miserable fucking experience for everyone. And it's not worth the time. It's not worth anyone's time. You can replenish money. You can replenish energy. I can get both that shit back. I cannot get back my time, and I do not want to waste my time for anyone, even sometimes for myself. People have that more awareness about other people as much as they did about themselves. I feel like there would be a lot more consideration, and there'd be a lot healthier ways to deal with shit like that. And again, it's the same thing about this. The same thing if I were to go to everyone and be like, and bitch about, oh, people don't respect me. Oh, I'm just disrespected by everybody. Ain't nobody give a damn about me. Oh, no one think about me. Fucking, oh. What am I going to do about it? Let's say you're just bitch to a bunch of niggas who don't give a fuck already. A lot of my friends don't give a fuck already. What is me telling them? 15 times, like, oh, maybe I should give a fuck. Oh, I've never thought of that one before. They're not going to care. They don't care initially. They're not going to care now. They're not. I just got to figure out, I just got to be like, accept that and process that and make a decision out based off that. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, man, see, this is shit, man. Oh, man, they just don't give a damn about me, man. Oh, woe is me. Life is awful. God ain't real. All this fuck God, fuck the world, everything, man. All this shit ain't shit. Nothing's ever good. What does that do for anyone? It makes me worse. It makes them feel like shit. Them like a guilt trip, and it come off as a guilt trip, and they'll hostage be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Plus, every time on the tank, you're gonna get a lot of fake ass reactions out of it. If I were to go out here and be like, man, I ain't got no friends, you're gonna have all these niggas I don't even talk to be like, oh, and you're gonna have a lot of people like that too. They're gonna pop up and be like, what you mean? We cool, we friends, I got it. I'm like, no, you my friend now that I said I don't got none. Where were you when I said I need some? That's the difference. And again, all ties back into respect. People don't have respect for others' time. People don't have respect for other people's energy. People don't have respect for other people's just in general. A lot of people don't. And I've run into that issue personally with people who I respect and admire a lot. And I don't, and again, it's not the fact that I expect them to automatically give that respect. I just personally believe that I have earned it. And the easiest thing would be for me to separate myself from all those people, but they're not openly disrespectful. So I'm kind of in that limbo space where it's like, oh, they respect me. I'm working towards it for some people. Like Felicia, I'm working towards it. I'm working towards that. Her issues, all that. I'm working towards that. It's working. I'm working towards her respect. I'd like to think probably if we're friends long enough, she'll respect me fully and see me how a lot of people see me with that high level of respect because of who I am as a person, not because of one part, because of a part of something. And she explained her dismissal things, her dismissive answers sometimes. She was like, one of them she just doesn't recall saying, but I mean, even if she did, she didn't do nothing about it. I don't give a fuck. She was just like, call me out next time I do that, next time or whatever. And for the talk to masculinity thing, she was just like, well, yeah. When I made that reaction, it was to be like to myself, don't let his opinion affect the relationship. Basically, decompartmentalize within her brain that, okay, because he believes this is not who he is as a person. Because he believes this, because what I believe does not define me as a person in the sense of it's not a piece of I'm not like a piece of shit because I believe in this. She wanted to separate that, and I guess that was her explanation. Do I buy it? Yeah, to an extent, I guess, but overall, it was a good conversation, and we have an understanding, but we work towards that. A lot of people don't want to work towards that. They don't want to have those conversations because they don't like it, because it's not what they want to hear. It's not what they want to hear. It's not what they want the response to be. Alex is like that. I can't have that conversation with him yet. At that point, I'm going to force it and just be like, look, my nigga, you can get the hell on with this bullshit that you being sad all 25/8. 365 days out of the year, 12 months out of the year, all that bull, 52 weeks of the year being just like, oh, and I get you have bipolar, you have all that shit, you have your past, all that stuff. Yet even shit I don't know about that you haven't told me about, all understandable. Just don't. But if you're not willing to work against something, you're not willing to do something, if you lack ambition to do something and you're just sitting there bitching, that is completely your fault. That is 100% your fault. If you're not willing to keep pushing, this is for anything in general, school, work, life, relationships, whatever. And it's not gonna progress because it's not gonna happen on itself. Something's gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen. You got to have that motivation for yourself that I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to be here sad. I don't want to be depressed anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. Because essentially you're left with two choices, especially on the mental health. You just, on a grand scale, you're left with two solutions. Either quit or make a choice to be better. That's essentially what you're doing. And your job, you're for your job. Either quit or get better. School, fail or drop out or do better. Relationships, break up or improve them. Friendships, stop being friends or improve them. Life, either kill yourself or improve. Those are the roads that you're either going to have to take. Those are the roads that's leading to. A lot of people decide to choose the echelons of quitting rather than improving. And again, I will respect failure more than I respect quitters. I respect failure more than I respect quitters, because failure means you tried. It means you were closer to success than the quitter was, because the quitter gave up. You kept going. You just got put a step back. I can respect that. I can respect that more than I respect quitters. You give up in a way. It's just a selfish choice in general, but especially in suicide. And it's not linear. Each different decisions, but at the end of the day, those reasons are a selfish choice. To each their own. How you want to live your life is how you're going to live your life. All I'm going to know is I'm going to live mine. For the people personally in my circle, if y'all niggas not going to fix shit, I'm going to be real with you. And if you ain't going to be real, get the hell on. It's always been to that point. It's just that for me, like, I never had a chance to tell Alex this, because I don't really know he'll watch this. He probably won't watch this. But he never does, and he sees this before we have this conversation. He actually comes into the conversation and doesn't take it personal. We'll have this conversation. It's just that you'll be around people who, don't necessarily tell him how it is all the time. We'll be like, it's not a big deal. We can deal with it. The lack of self-control, the lack of all that, and be like, I think he wants you to not talk about it. I think he wants you to shut up. And I'm like, oh no, because shit needs to be said. You're letting him kill himself slowly, and you're just watching it and just there for the ride until he does it. I don't want to keep him here longer. Get mad at me all you want. Hate me all you want. Stop being friends with me all you want. I just want you to live, and I want you to live and thrive happily. I don't. That's just the end of the day. That's how my perspective of it. Will it come off as asshole-ish? Absolutely. But it's only because I want the best for you. I'm not using it as an excuse to be an asshole, but it will come off as a mean. It will come off as I don't give a damn. They'll think I don't give a damn. When in reality, I give a damn a lot, which is why I'm saying. Otherwise, I'd be just like them, be like, yeah, man. Yeah, life is awful. Yeah, man, honestly, fuck life. Fuck God, man. Honestly, who even is that, man? Man, honestly, you should do drugs. You should do all that bullshit, man, because man, you're right. Stuff is awful. We're here right with you. We all hate life together. Go hate life on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hate life. I don't think anyone should do it. I don't think anyone should do it. It's not easy, but if you make the processes, and again, you don't have to do it alone, because I'm saying all this doesn't mean you have to do it alone. You can do it with anyone. You can do it with all your friends. You can do it with family, whoever the fuck you got. If you got no one, do it by yourself, and then through the process of doing it by yourself, you will find people who will do it with you. Because I was watching this video, and it's called The Gap. And this video, it was Snoop Dogg on some podcast. He was talking about the gap. And it's where we're all are in life. And so the gap is essentially, this is you and your friends. You going up. Now the gap is if they're going down. It's going down. And what's easiest for you want them to come to be close, for you to close the gap. But that means you're going down to their level. You're not improving. You're going backwards. So you got to go up. And if they're not, and it's not your job to close the gap, because they got to catch up to you and be where you're at and push you up as you're pushing them, and it keeps going up and it keeps going up. If not, you leave them behind. That's for anyone. Hey, my friends, if you feel like that's how I am, I'm holding you back, and you think the best choice is to leave me behind, dude, it sucks. It's going to suck for me. They'll be like, damn, what did I do? What did I do to make them feel like, because I try to do nothing but improve my friends. If I did something bad, I got to check myself. If that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. It's vice versa. If I don't feel like you're improving me no more, and you're not going to try to catch up with me, I will leave your ass behind. That is the way of life. We have to keep moving. We cannot halt for every little thing. We cannot pause for every little thing. We have to keep it pushing. And that's just what we got to do. Anyway, but so let me know if y'all have this issue with a lot of friends and don't really necessarily, maybe you're the one that, maybe through this you realize that you're that person. You're the person that has to be the bad guy like me, or be lack of disrespect or whatever all that. And honestly, I'm open to all conversation. Message me at all through the DMs or whatever, and we can have a conversation on here or privately. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Love y'all. Bye-bye.